Hi everyone, Ryan here, hope you're all well, bringing you another drum lesson, and today we're going to be discussing the Bossa Nova. So I found this one trick has really helped me with playing my Bossa Nova patterns, so that's what I'm going to show you today. So let's get right into it. Okay, so for me, I found the hardest thing was keeping the consistency of the ride. The ride is playing all constant eighth notes and going ding 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 ding. Once we get the foot pattern down and we can play the clave, playing the ride and keeping the consistency going for a whole tune can be quite difficult. So one thing that I found really helped me, which I notice a lot of Brazilian drummers do, is to accent the ride where you're playing the clave. So essentially this breaks down to your ride accenting in twos, threes, or fours. Usually you won't play anything more than a 4, and if you do, it's just like playing a 4 and adding a couple of notes at the end. So today we're going to focus on 2s, 3s, and 4s. So what I mean by this is our clave, in a normal clave, we have dut, 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 dut. So really, we're playing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So just as we would do our up-down or push-pull motion on the hi-hat, and we're kind of doing this molar-esque stroke, we can do that over here on the ride in French grip. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by playing just every 2 notes we're going to accent. So let's have a go at that. So I'm just going up and down and accenting every second note. So we can do this with a 3. So we're going to go down, tap, lift, down, tap, lift. Okay, so let's have a go at that. Same with the 4. We're going to go down, tap, tap, lift, down, tap, tap, lift, down. Alrighty, so the first exercise I've got for you is to play the rim click, and whenever we play the rim click, we're going to accent the ride cymbal. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the rim click on beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. So our ride is going to go accent, lift, accent, lift. It'll sound like this. So if we add that with our foot pattern now, the Bossa Nova ostinato. Now, sometimes we have to play on the offbeats, so let's reverse it. So now we're going to go lift on the ride, and then we're going to accent, and we're going to play the rim clicks on the ands of 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So this gets a little bit tricky, but you got to make sure the rim click syncs up with your bass drum. When the bass drum does the doom doom, there's going to be a rim click there. So let's have a crack at that. Okay, so that's all the possibilities for the 2s, just on the beat or off the beat. So now we've got the 3-note patterns. So now we're going to go rim, click, and ride, tap, lift. And then we're going to repeat that over and over. So it'll look like this. So now if we play that against our foot ostinato with our kick drum and our hi-hat, it's going to sound like this. So now we can play this on the second partial. So we're going to start with a quieter ride, and we're going to bring in the rim click on the and of 1. So 1, 2, 3. And lastly, on the and. So now we're moving on to the 4-note pattern. So we can either start this on the 1, the and, the 2, or the and then the second half of the bar is going to be the same because our 1 will resolve back to the 3, and so on and so forth. So let's do beat 1, 1 and, 2, 2 and. Here we go. So there we go, accenting our ride cymbal and our snare every fourth partial, moving through the different possibilities. Okay, so now that we can do all those exercises as entry level, now we can start to use them in a full beat. So back to our clave for the Bossa Nova pattern that everyone knows is da da dun da dun da dun da dun da. So this is 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. So we're going to do 2 lots of 3s. And then we're going to play a 4, and then we're going to play 2 more 3s, and that'll add up to our full 16. So, here we go. So, there's an application of the 3s and the 4s accenting with your right hand, and it just breaks up that monotony of instead going like this. And it kind of helps loosen up a bit and helps the groove as well. Alright, so I'm going to give you one more pattern. So this pattern, the clave, is called the partido alto, and it comes from Brazilian music, and it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So demonstrating with the groupings, it sounds like this. 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1. So we're going to use that with our right hand and play the ride cymbal accenting that. So here we go. So if we add our hands together, it sounds like this. So adding it with a foot ostinato now. So now you can really start to see how using these accent patterns with the right hand of the 2s, 3s and 4s can really help you. So now we can break away and really, after a while, you can just improvise and let your left hand lead. So whatever clave you want to play, you can improvise it and your right hand will follow. If you practice this enough, your right hand will follow and it could sound something like this. So this is a great tool for improvising with the Bossa Nova whilst also keeping your stamina and adding a little bit of groove. So I hope you found this lesson useful. If you did, please hit like, subscribe and turn bell notifications on. I'd really appreciate it. I've made a PDF containing the exercises from today's lesson, so I'll put a link for that in the description and you can download that there for free. If you have any questions, queries, comments, or you'd like me to make a lesson about anything, drop it in the comments below and I'll get to each and every one of those. Thanks again for watching, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next week for a new drum lesson.